welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new to my channel, kindly don't forget to subscribe. If you're a returning subby, welcome and thank you for choosing this as the right place to get entertained, info and everything else. So today I'm going to be talking about travel, recent restrictions due to COVID and everything that has been going on. Of course, one of the most important things that most people don't even bother to check is if the destination has any requirements or restrictions for travelers. Usually people just book their ticket. If they get their visa, book their ticket and head off to the airport without even going on to the internet to check if there are any restrictions for you as a traveler. So now especially is a time you need to be very keen on that, because you will either miss your flight or you have to pay extra charges for you to get services that you could have done prior to going to the airport. Recently, my children or my daughters traveled from Nairobi to Dubai, and of course we fell into the restriction time, which is good because we got to understand what are the requirements and what needs to be done. Number one, of course, when you're traveling, you need to make sure that your passport is ready, which means that you have to have a valid passport. You need to check also online because there are countries or there are destinations that have restrictions in terms of if you don't have one free visa page, there is no way they will allow you to go in. There are countries that if your passport is not valid for 6 months, even though you're staying for 2 days, you will not be allowed to get in. So kindly confirm that first. Then of course, go ahead and apply or get your visa ready. And then after your visa is ready, then it's time for you to book your ticket. With the current restrictions, of course, you need your COVID-free certificate. Now, here is the catch. You need to give yourself an allowance of at least 3 days between when the COVID test was taken to your travel date, because there's no point in having the COVID test way before that, because there's a time frame. In most of the places or destinations, there's a time frame. They say within 96, the COVID test must have been done or conducted within 96 hours. So if you've done yours way before, then unfortunately it's not valid. And if you've done it way too late, then it's not out by the time you're ready to travel. So you need to give yourself an allowance. And also, I'm advising you from my own experience. So when my daughters were traveling, I was looking online to see if I could find a cheap place to have them do their COVID test. And luckily I found this free place, and me and free things, ooh, I was like, girls, you need to run there right now. So I sent them there, and yes, the results were not out for the first 1 week, which means of course they were null and void. They were not useful anymore, and the date of travel was getting closer and closer and closer. So what I did was I had to book another place, a paid place this time, and I did that within 3 days before their flight. That's when I had them go for this COVID test. I paid for it, and the results were out within 2 days, and they traveled. Everything was okay. Now, if you check on the internet for the requirement, if your destination has requirements or restrictions for travelers, and you find out that they need a certificate within 96 hours, you need to have this done within those 96 hours. Otherwise, if you have it 97 hours even, they will not allow you to travel. I can imagine the look on the customer service agent if my daughters had appeared with the certificate that was 1 week old. I can imagine her face would have been like, are you even serious right now? So I am glad that this worked out for us. And by the way, the COVID results that they did, this free test was conducted under a banana tree. Not a banana tree, oh my God, forgive me. Under a tree. The results came after they had already traveled and landed and stayed for 1 day here. So that's when we got the message that the results were out. Cheap is very, very expensive sometimes. So if you don't want to miss your flight, or at least rush within the last minute, you need to have everything planned in order for you to be able to get everything done and not have hassles at the airport. And also remember to get to the airport earlier than usual, because with all these restrictions, you'll have forms to fill, you have so many things that are coming up, and probably there's something you can actually do the last minute, which is like probably get some document from somewhere. So get there early enough to be able to find out if you're okay to go, other than getting there the last minute. Like me, I am the kind of person who's like, excuse me, that's me. No, this is not the period to do that. This is not the time to do that at all. Even I have to also pull my socks, because I'm used to doing everything the last minute, but during these times I have to do something about it. I have to, like, I haven't traveled during this time, but I have planning to travel maybe before Christmas or after Christmas. So if this is still the same case, I have to, of course, be disciplined enough to get there on time. So to avoid missing your flight, to avoid all these problems that come at the end, kindly follow this step. Get your passport ready, check for the restrictions, destination restrictions and requirements, get your visa ready. Number 3, your COVID certificate should be valid within 96 hours. That's the one I know. Or if it's different to, because destinations vary. So there's a very, we can't assume that this is for all destinations. So there are other countries that have requirements like you have to stay in the house for 14 days for self-quarantine. So you need to check all that information to avoid being on the wrong side. If you enjoyed watching this video, kindly leave me a comment and feel free to share. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell, because my next video will be about coming to Dubai on a visit visa to look for work. So thank you for watching this video. Until next time, adios.